Today, this is the OHS Sports Podcast. I'm Colin.
I'm Leia.
And I'm Julio.
Today, we're going to be talking about the problematic sports. Today, there are some things in sports that cause a lot of problems. Like in 2030, they're going to be changing the NBA's Wilson basketball to a Wilson airless basketball. That's kind of a big problem with each other because, well, they're not going to be able to make simple layups. What do you guys think about it?
I think it's not the smartest thing in the world, but honestly, I feel like they could make better changes to the ball instead of completely changing it and
But I kind of feel like it might be for the best because a lot of injuries have been happening. Says, like LeBron James, sometimes he has to wear a mask to cover his nose because he had a broken nose incident in the past.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a big problem, so that might not cause injuries for a while. What do you think?
I think it's for the best so that nobody can get injured and
Yeah.
All right. But it has changed a lot because basketball went from just a normal wooden hoop to from a glass backboard and a metal rim. But since the beginning of the NBA has happened, it hasn't really
Changed.
changed. But now it's going to, since a lot of the time it's gonna make a lot of changes with each other because a lot of other basketball players like Anthony Davis, Cooper Flag, all of them, they have had big problems. Like Cooper Flag got taken out for the season, mostly because he was the calling of him. He got called up to the NBA from the college when he was done. So I think that's one of the main reasons why the airless basketball is going to be a big problem. Because right now, Cooper Flag was doing a great job with the normal basketball, and now it's just going to go into the trash.
Yeah.
So what do you got? What are your ideas about it? Do you think they should change it or no?
I think they shouldn't change it because it'll cause a lot of problems and it'll be annoying to the basketball players that already got good and used to the basketball, to the normal basketball, and now they have to restart their progress and play with the airless basketball.
Yeah. Honestly, the thoughts about a lot of other NBA players, they have many thoughts about it. They do not even want to shoot with it. Steph Curry tried it out just for practicing. It was horrible. He couldn't make a normal layup, three-pointer. He airballed it.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to cause a lot of problems with people because people might lash out on the coaches, which would mean more problems to the NBA, which would cause conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
So, why would they do this? Why do you think they would do this?
I honestly don't know. For me, it's just a waste of money because it also cost a lot to make it, but it's just filling up a ball with air. What's the difference? It ruins people's playing.
Well, there is a difference between the airless basketball and the normal basketball, mostly because it had actual air in it, which allowed them to dribble faster.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be harder to pass because it's just all the air pushing back into the ball, which is going to make it slower.
Yeah.
So what I think they're going to do is, what I think they should do is just change the normal basketball back because in the future, the basketball will just have all these holes in it, which is going to, conflict. But at the beginning of basketball in 1891, they had this very leathery basketball with stripes on it, which has evolved into what it looks like today, but it's, darker, but is weird. Then in 1953, that changed to a laced basketball that kind of looks like a basketball mixed with a football. And now in 1978, it had Spalding's NBA, which was what is like today. And then in 2022, they changed to Wilson's basketball, which we have right now. And in 2030, we will have the orange basketball, which is going to be a lot different from now. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, like you said, a lot of conflict because there's just going to be so much harder to play basketball.
Yeah, I feel like if they do or do not change it, well, if they do change it, it's going to be bad. A lot of lash outs, like I said. But it's probably for the best, mostly because there are, like I said, a lot of injuries. But, I feel like a lot of other basketballs that happened in the timeline of basketball were a lot better than this new one. It's going to cause a lot of conflict. Yeah.
I think they should just do some changes to the normal basketball that we have right now,
Yeah.
and make it
Smaller, bigger?
And not completely change the whole entire thing.
yeah, not completely change the whole entire thing, but
Well, what do you think
just
they should
make it softer, so that they
Softer?
can't get that much
Yeah.
injuries.
Well, if you
But also,
Well,
if you make it softer, you lose the grip.
Well, yeah, also, if you make it softer, that's just taking air out of the ball. That's how you can change it. But it's also that's gonna hurt more because it has less air. You can push down on it, and if it smacks you right in the face, it's gonna hurt even more.
Yeah.
Because the contact is just gonna go right in your face. So, what do you think about putting less air in it?
Well, it's gonna lose the bounce that it has. So, I don't think it's the brightest idea, but yeah.
Such as more of the NBA continues, it's gonna have a lot of conflicts, mostly because the basketball is gonna be very popular. People have already reviewed it. They said it's very hard to play with. It's not very good. You could make it at home if you do have a 3D printer. That's the one way to make it.
Yeah.
But they usually use this sort of stretchy fabric. Well, not fabric. Like plastic.
Stretchy filament.
Yeah, filament that can it's usually squishy, but for some reason they mix this other filament with it that can make you dribble with it like the normal basketball.
Yeah.
Because a lot of other basketballs have changed, like the Spalding to Wilson, and now to Wilson to this. It's insane. And since the evolution of basketball happened, it's just a lot harder because they had lowered hoops, and the hoops were very wooden. They were wooden.
They're actually wooden baskets.
They didn't even have backboards at that time, and when it didn't have backboards, well, it was a lot harder to shoot because right now, as you can see, the hoop has this sort of rectangle to it, and if you just shoot it in the corner, that it's gonna bounce right off the backboard and into it. See.
Okay.
So I think that's what they should do. Just change it, and I think they would all be good.
Just wait until you see, in a few years, wait until you see a child play with that basketball for the sport. Why? It's gonna be so weird.
Yeah, and it will affect. I think it will affect other younger players because in the college, it's gonna hurt.
We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back, and we now have a guest, Logan.
Hi guys, what's going on?
Right now we're just talking about the history of baseball. like how the ball has changed the bat. Like right now, Jazz Chisholm has been using the torpedo bat, which has been a huge change to it since he used it in the home run derby, which was actually very unfair to people because he was hitting a lot of home runs. But what do you think about it? Like, I'm not sure.
I think the torpedo bat is a very interesting concept that they've introduced, where it's pretty much just taking off weight essentially because you're cutting parts of the top off, but then adding a bigger sweet spot, which would be where you make the most contact, where you get the most power from the bat. So overall, it kind of just, if you think about the history of baseball, where the bat started and now where they've ended up, how they are in different parts of the world, it's just interesting to see how people use them differently, right? If you go to places in like the Dominican Republic, there are people who play baseball with bottle caps as balls and sticks as bats. And then you got people in the MLB who are now like high-teching all their bats. Just interesting to see that change.
Sort of like pine tar. Mix onto bats. That has been a big change to people because it gives them a larger grip. You could use spray-on pine tar. You could just use...
Did you say pine tar on bats?
Yeah, you use pine tar on bats or gloves. Gloves, which is not very legal in the MLB because it'd have a bigger grip.
Right.
And
but I think it's a little fair because people just don't have a lot of grip. They should, if you don't have good grip, you should be allowed to have at least a tiny bit of pine tar.
Yeah, but no matter how good they are or no matter how bad they are, they still have to follow the rules of the MLB. Sort of like in the 1830s, they used this really brown X-crossed ball, which was kind of lighter than the baseball we have today. And it's not very, how do you put it? Good to use because the lighter the ball is, the less control you have.
Right.
So.
And it's also the X cross that you're talking about is the stitching of the baseball.
Yeah.
And what really makes it interesting is that as you see it progresses, the stitching changes throughout the years of the baseballs being changed. So when you get to the 1920s, it's kind of the stitching that we use on current baseballs. That's also when pitchers start throwing different pitches is around then. So the idea is they change the stitching, which lets pitchers throw pitches that move differently.
Yeah, sort of like a curveball. That is sort of harder to hit, or a changeup.
Right.
You need to use special finger movements, or like a four-seam fastball. That's pretty good. Yeah, and they need more pitches because, like, sort of like I'm pretty sure there's a new one called the gyro ball. That one is sort of a really nasty pitch. It has a really weird thing to it. You put two fingers on the laces, and you have to underthrow it, but also sidearm. So that's also a really weird one.
That's one of the more interesting parts about watching how the game has evolved over the years, is you see as new inventions are added or different variations of the equipment is added.
Yeah.
Right. If you go back to when baseball started, they didn't even use gloves. You were catching all the balls with your bare hands.
Yeah.
And then you get more down the line of the history of the game, and then they start getting these kind of more like
leather
mitts.
Yeah,
not
leather.
even gloves. It's kind of like the type of glove that you would wear if it was cold.
Like a mitten?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a
sort of
mitten
like a leather glove, but it only had four, so you had to put two fingers in one, and then you just had to do it like that.
Baby Yoda.
And then as you get down the line, right, now you get into today's game, and everyone's got their own special glove that's like tailored to their hand, and you got all these different bats. It's interesting when you look at how technology has been added into the game, and it's not as simple as it used to be.
Sort of like now that they have all this special equipment, like elbow guards and leg guards, those have been a big change from injuries. And now they have this whole, like, website, like, absolutely ridiculous. And since that has changed, Jazz Chisholm has been owning that, making a lot of money. And that has been a big change, mostly because his gear has changed a lot of people's, like, game. And some of his mitts are actually banned, mostly because you can't wear white mitts in the MLB or white arm sleeves because it's going to be harder to see the ball to see if you actually catched it.
Yeah.
And I think we can apply that same logic to other games, right? So if we took the new additions of technology in baseball and we apply similar stuff to something like soccer, right?
Yes.
Like, I know in soccer there's a couple of leagues that are starting to do things where they put trackers inside of the balls so this
Yeah,
way they
right.
could see if they're actually goals or not. And I feel like that is also a new addition that's similar to how we're doing things with baseball, where you're trying to evolve the game by adding more modern stuff into it.
yeah.
Like more technology.
Yeah, like back to the torpedo bat, that has been people have been corking it, and I'm scared that people actually have corked it because like there has been problems about the torpedo bat. People have been complaining that people are saying, "Oh, this should be banned in the MLB," but you know, it's really not.
I think the torpedo bat is like kind of like
Cheating or no?
yeah,
Yeah, it's like cheating.
like cheating because it makes it easier to hit the ball.
Because of the sweet spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I would actually disagree with that statement because when you're at that level, I feel like everyone has the access to something like that. And at the end of the day, baseball is still a business, right? It's
Yes.
when you get to that level, it's about entertainment. There's a reason why there's a professional league, right? So all those people have access to this thing, and the idea is it just makes you hit harder, makes you hit more home runs. And that's
Yeah.
what people want to see. That's why people go to baseball games. They want to see action.
Yeah.
And I think, once again, you can apply that logic to another sport, right? Let's say people were starting to use a certain type of glove for, I don't know, like football. You have like
Yeah.
certain gloves if you're a receiver that makes you catch better.
Yeah.
As long as you're not putting any substance on it and it's just the actual glove material,
Yeah.
I feel like that's fair. And you could apply that to soccer again, right?
Mm-hmm.
If someone had a bigger cleat that wasn't super heavy and it just made it easier so when you kick something it goes harder,
Yeah.
I think it would be the same idea. If you have access to it, I
Like
don't
a
see how it
2-inch
would be illegal.
spike on the cleat. That's banned.
Right. So there's certain stipulations that are set in play, but as long as what you're doing stays within the rule set, I feel like it's fair.
Yeah. But with that, for other sports, if people do have special gloves that have a better grip on the ball.
Yeah.
But in baseball, you don't really have a better grip. You just
Have different mitts.
yeah, like
Like for the catcher, you have
a
Like
wider,
a wider.
thicker mitt.
Mm-hmm.
But first baseman, it's wider, and it has and it's easier to catch with an actual ball, and a lot of other sports have different stuff to use, sort of like that. But yeah, so what do you think?
I think if you're going to say that something should be banned, it needs to put a clear disadvantage, or it needs to put you at a clear advantage and an opposite team a clear disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while definitely people are hitting better, it's still baseball, right? And you still have to make contact with the ball, which
Yeah.
is a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if people are still, unless someone starts batting like 400, then I'd
Yeah.
be like, okay, we need to calm it down.
Yeah.
But if people are still having just a better season compared to last season, I feel like it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of like Alex Verdugo, he was moved down to the other league, and because he was not playing very well, and since people's moved down to the minor leagues, they want to go up more. They want to take advantage of that.
They want to advance.
Yeah, they want to advance of that. So, I think that's all. So, I think that's what the whole evolution of basketball, baseball, and the problem sports.
And we would want to say thank you for